guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another 6-in-1 figure review on the McFarlaneToys Marvel figure statues. They're technically not statues. We've been over this a million times. They're technically figures because they're made out of PVC. Statues are made out of resin, but you know what we're looking at. These are the deluxe McFarlane Marvel figures right over here, and a few of them were sent to me courtesy of McFarlaneToys, so big thanks to McFarlaneToys for helping make this video possible. All opinions are of my own. They did not ask me to say one thing or another about these pieces, and I picked up the Spider-Man on my own, and then the rest they had sent me, and this one I didn't even realize was coming out, but we have a McFarlane Iceman, not Spider-Man. Looks badass. You can see the comic art right there on the back. Also sent me this Rocket Raccoon right over here. By the way, if you want to see the latest McFarlaneToys, you can find it all in the link description below. And then we also have Black Panther, looking pretty damn sick. The sketch variant of Deadpool right here, the Rob Liefeld Deadpool first appearance sketch version, which I'm not going to open, but we'll get a close look at it as best I can. Oh my god, this one looks freaking amazing as hell. We have Blade right there. Oh, that looks so sick. You can see Blade on the back. Then lastly, we have the McFarlane Spider-Man #1 cover figure edition right here. Just looking so badass. I have this up on my wall in the hallway. Alright, let's get to it and crack these things open. And if you're trying to get your McFarlaneToys figures, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's all 5 figures or statues out of the packaging, of course, minus the sketch variant Deadpool, and these are looking pretty damn sweet. Now, I do cherry pick this line, so not all of these I can say I'm terribly excited for, but damn, that Spider-Man right over there. Jeez, and this Blade and the Iceman right there, I mean, there's cool stuff about all of these. But anyway, we'll get into it in a moment. I wanted to mention that they each do come with a comic that is where the artwork is based off of, along with a trading card that has a brief synopsis. I didn't open up the comics for all of these, but you can see right here, we have the comic for Black Panther right there. We have the Marvel Tales Spider-Man, Angel, Blade right over here, and there's the Rocket Raccoon comic. All right, let's look at these in the order of which I am personally most excited for. We'll start with the sketch variant Deadpool. So I'm not the biggest fan of the sketch variants, but I am kind of stoked to say that there are more than just 2 tones with this sketch variant. I still have my original version right over here that I put back in the box, but you can see that there's a lot of light gray and darker grays on this, on the cell shading right over there. So that does look pretty neat. You can see the little Dio backdrop right there. We have some gray and black and white mixed in there, so it does look pretty neat. As far as the box goes, they did change it up a little bit, you know, for it to be all black and white like that. So yeah, pretty cool, but you know, not my favorite version. So just looking at the Rocket Raccoon, and you can see each of these do come with their own backdrop insert, which are taped on the sides, so that is definitely helpful. And I'm gonna go ahead and move that aside and bring Rocket right over here. He does look cute. I think it's a nice looking Rocket. I don't know why, but it's just not my favorite comic design of Rocket. I don't know, the extra lanky ankles right here, it's just, I don't know. It's got a very particular look to it. It's very stylized is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't look bad. It's just not my favorite style, if that means anything. But anyway, this big old gun looks really cool right over here. I do like that there's some nice paint mixed in the hair throughout on this. I'm going to call them figures now and then. I'm going to call them statues. I'm going to go back and forth between that. Just get used to it. We have some nice silver right over here for this gun right over there. So I do like that. And we have some cool texturing going on right there for his jumpsuit. And yeah, it's a pretty good looking piece, man. It's just not my favorite design. We have some nice wood grain textures in the sculpt right over here, looking sweet for Groot. And then here's looking at the back of it. I think these all look pretty good with my black backdrop over here. Let me know what you think of the black backdrop. Let me know what you think of the black backdrop. Easy to say, but yeah, nice yellow paint right there for the eyes of Groot. And here's looking at the backdrop for the Black Panther annual comic-based figure right here. And it does look pretty neat with the vegetation painted on there. And the back of these all have these little panels and everything on there. But yeah, you can see that T'Challa fits right inside there pretty nicely. And he fits inside okay, yeah. As far as me not having this as one of my favorites, it's only because of the design choice right here. It's just not my favorite design for Black Panther, but I do think this looks cool with the soft purple paint going over throughout on the figure, and the magenta eyes look really cool like this. I do like the silver right here for his necklace. There is a little bit of wobbling, you know, while he's attached to this rod right over here. But yeah, the sculpt of this thing looks really cool. We have a lot of hard angles. I think they're trying to represent the artwork with the hard angles and the musculature right over there. Again, not my favorite design, but I do think this came out looking cool. And you can see the purple goes all the way through to the thumb and to the fingernails right over there. And the muscle definition looks really good on this as well. He's got like the ninja toes right over here. And then, yeah, the whole thing's painted front and back. So they did not skimp out on the paint. And you can see some vegetation right over here at the bottom of the base. Looking pretty damn sweet. Looks like we have some bamboo right over here. Bamboo in Africa. Really? So Iceman's backdrop is a little unique. You need to do some building. You have this extra piece right here that tabs into the side right here, as well as the bottom, and on this other side right over there. So you have these nice ice spikes, and then you can move up top here, and it says Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man, Angel, and Iceman. And here is the Iceman, looking pretty damn cool with this translucent blue. You can see the base of it right over there with his name written on it, looking cool. And all these little spikes have some nice frosty white paint over the blue. I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I just really like how this looks with the translucent plastic. And you can see some white over it right over here, and there's white over the boots right there, and it just looks really cool to me, man. I'd like to have an action figure that looked like this. I mean, we've seen some that kind of, you know, the Toy Biz one kind of reminds me of this. I'm getting a little bit too much glare on there, but yeah, you can see how that looks. Very, very neat looking figure. I like the darker blue on the outside of these discs right over here, and it's tough to get a close shot of his face. Yeah, those effects parts right there cast serious shadows over his face, so it's always tricky to get a good shot, but there you can see Bobby looking pretty damn cool. Yeah, liking that. And then there's the back of the head. Again, paint throughout on the entire piece. Like, there's no part of it that's really missing paint, except for, I guess, maybe the very flat part of the base down here, which actually has ports that looks like it would connect to another one. I don't know. Maybe they'll make the Angel and Spider-Man to go along with this. Who knows? And here's the backdrop for the Blade figure, and I do like that artwork. Looks very, very cool, having a bunch of these vampires right over here surrounding Blade. Love that perspective for the buildings. A lot of glare on these. I wish they were a lot more matte so you wouldn't get so much glare, but still, I do like the artwork for this backdrop. And here is the Blade figure, looking sick. And you can see how the bottom has these puddles splashing upward, and you get the puddle art right there on the base matching the backdrop a little bit. I really like how they have the gutter down here. You know, it's part of the base, but then you get like the street right over here with some nice gray paint over darker gray. So that's very cool. I like that he has some soft blue shading on his pants. You get some nice texturing on there as well. You could see his daggers, or his stakes anyway. The katanas look really good. I do like them a lot. I did find myself having to heat up these hands, though, to get him to hold these. So before you port those into his hands, definitely heat those up. And you can see we get some nice touches of red right over there. And the silver on these does look pretty good. I'm going to move this out of the way. Yeah, you can see that shine a little better now. And I like how the coat has some blue over it, too. So yeah, a lot of nice colors on this. I really like the sculpt on this one a lot, man. The trench coat looks sick. And yep, he has his two little holsters right there for holding both of these blades. And here's looking at his face, which, oh man, this head sculpt looks amazing. I love this head sculpt. It's not the initial look that I think of with Blade, but still, I really, really like it a lot, man. A lot of nice detail in there. The eyes look amazing. Damn, this looks sick. Very, very cool looking Blade. I like this one a lot. This is my second favorite of the bunch. Then lastly, we have the Spider-Man #1 Torment backdrop right here, which is the Marvel McFarlane statue that I have been wanting them to make as soon as this whole series was announced. I love that we have the little comic cover tag right over here with Spider-Man, and it says #1, and then you get the McFarlane Spidey face right there, and all the spiders in the background right over there, and then here is the piece itself, and oh my god, this looks so sick. I've always loved this cover ever since it came out. I just thought this was the sickest cover. Dude, this is fantastic. I love being able to see this in three-dimensional form. I just think it's so dope. I did have to adjust a little bit to make sure that this was pushed in all the way, to make sure that the feet are actually touching the webs in the back right over here. But damn, dude, when you look at that, isn't that sick? I know a lot of 90s kids, I mean, I was born in 81. A lot of 80s, 90s kids are a fan of this, and damn, I'm just so stoked about it. The level of detail McFarlane put into his art is just amazing. Like, just recently I realized that this finger actually has a tiny little web strand wrapped around it. I didn't even notice that after all this time. Just till now I noticed that. Would have been nice to kind of see that right here with this now, but still, I'm loving this. It looks great with the touch of blue that you could see throughout on it. So you get little spiders sculpted on there too, which can be tricky to see sometimes, but I really dig this translucent grayish blue plastic for the webbing going around him. And you can see some spiders throughout right over here. There are parts of it where the webs don't, I don't know, line up perfectly on him, you know, on the shoulder right over there. But for the most part, it looks really good to me, man. I am very happy with this. God, it's so cool to look at this whole thing like this instead of just, you know, the one image, you know, because it was a comic. And there's a subtle texturing right over here, kind of like basketball with the red portions of it. I like that. I like that they added something to it. This is so badass. Oh, I love this thing, man. This, dude, this was nightstand worthy. I opened this up and put it on the nightstand. I just was so excited for this one. It looks so damn neat, man. I really like this a lot. I haven't tried taking this apart or anything. I do like having this big web backdrop. And then you can see, this is the only one that actually has the name of the character, you know, on the backdrop. It's a little sticker right here over this flat piece right there. But you can see it says Torment Part 1 of 5 right over there. So yeah, very, very cool. I really dig this quite a bit. I don't know what these hole ports are here for exactly, so maybe you can take it apart. Oh, you can take it apart. Damn, the derp. Wow, okay, weird. It's so, yeah, so it does all come apart. This is so weird to do. Wow, oh, that's neat. Damn, I don't know, can you put it on the floor? No, you can't really put it on the floor, but damn, so cool. I didn't know I could do that until just now, so yeah, very, very neat. Yeah, he's not as broken as I thought he was initially, you know what I mean? Just based off the art, but damn, this is cool. This is badass. I really dig this a lot. And who knows, maybe I could use this for something else if I want to, or if you want to anyway. That's very cool, and you have display options with all those different ports right over there. Yeah, because you get these two pegs at the bottom, so you could port these into any of the two pegs that you want to down here. You get 6 total. So I don't have any real size comparisons for you guys. I'm going to close out the video right here, but I will give some measurements, and of course I will bust out the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, just so you can get an idea of how tall these all are, as he's standing right next to Black Panther right there. Oh wait, I actually had one comparison I also wanted to bring in here, and we have Wolverine right here. This is the only other one that I have in this scale. So we have a McFarlane Iceman, McFarlane Wolverine, McFarlane Spider-Man. Seeing these side by side like that does look pretty damn cool, right? Yeah, I am liking that. I guess the Iceman stands at the tallest. Well, no, the Spider-Man does too. So around 12 inches if you're looking for some shelf space for these. And as far as the depth goes, I don't know. They don't seem to go any deeper than about 6.5, maybe 7 inches. So yeah, that's pretty fair amount of space to work with. Man, I really like these a lot. If I remember correctly, they're priced at around $50, $60, which I think is a fair price for a PVC statue and not having to spend hundreds of dollars on a resin statue. So that's always the plus side with these. And move my camera lens out of the way. Yeah, so at that price point, I'm happy with these. It just all depends on your personal preference. Like these two right here are my favorite, the Blade and the Spider-Man. I absolutely love. I do like these other three, but yeah, in order. Iceman, the Black Panther. Man, the Black Panther is actually really cool. I really like this dynamic pose. This has actually been growing on me the more I look at it. Same thing with the Rocket Raccoon. So I do like all of them to a certain extent. But at the price point around around $50, $50 to $60, I'm going to give the Rocket Raccoon a SUD rating of 7. Because it's not bad, it's just not my preference. The Black Panther is a little bit cooler. Black Panther is getting a 7.8, and then the Iceman right here is getting a 7.9. Blade is getting an 8.5, and that Spiderman over there is getting a 9.3. And it's just not getting more. Actually, damn, I don't know, man. I would give it a 9.6. This is something that I've been wanting to see, so I'm super happy with that. Yeah. 9.6, 9.7. My gripes are quite minimal with this Spider-Man. It's almost totally perfect. A 9.6 is the Spider-Man right there. All right, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I have more action figure reviews, straight up action figure reviews coming your way. I do have an unboxing for tomorrow, though. Got some new Marvel Legends in the mail. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace! Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,